out there things aren't so far out there as we might imagine. Well, hello, here we go for another video. I thought we'd look at sort of woodland sprites, fairies, that kind of thing today. This is a very magical place, as many of you have observed, and you can probably hear there's a tractor in the background, which is, I think it's harvesting. I'm not really sure, but it's going round and round the field making a noise, so I think it's harvesting. But we'll go on foot today, the way it would have been in times past, and let's see what we discover. First thing to discover is the chickens. Are they even there? Yes, they are. Look, they're all waiting up there. Let's get them fed first then. So this is kind of up the top of my lane, not very far from where the post box is. And this bit of land here is really untouched for a very long time. The farmer that owns this won't let anybody in there at all. He never cuts down any trees or anything like that. Even the trees like this one, which has fallen over, they'll just stay there as a sort of haven for insects. You can still hear the tractor there. The tractor's in that, I don't know if you can see it, that sort of patch of light right at the end of your field of vision. That's the entrance to the field. That's where the tractor is. And over this side, yet more ancient woodland. Look out for the fairies, they're in there for sure. Tree sprites, elementals, it's full of them. Very ancient woodland. And if we come round here a bit, in here is the quarry where the stone was taken for my house and the house next door. There are two little cottages together in the middle of nowhere. The stone was cut from the land in here. And it's kind of gone back to nature because it was probably over 400, maybe even over 500 years ago. No one's quite sure, it was so long ago, but it's certainly gone back to nature in a very spectacular kind of way. And in the foreground, this fantastic sycamore tree, which is branched into several sycamore trees over the time of its life. Right up to the canopy there. The sunlight shining through. I really hope this is going to be a nice day again in a minute. It was a beautiful day about 20 minutes ago before I started filming, and then it went dull. Let's take a quick look in here. Yeah, completely gone back to nature. It really has. In fact, I don't want to go too far into here because I don't want to disturb all the wildlife because it's so beautiful. Hope you can hear the birds singing as well. Loads of bird song. Doesn't always come out on the iPhone, which I'm using here, but yeah, beautiful place to be. And this is very good news. The sun has come back out again, so we're back in business. Still kind of dark under the trees, but that's all very natural, all very natural light. Now I'm going to take a quick wander in here because people walk through here with their dogs all the time. Nothing wrong with that. People got to enjoy nature. So I feel a bit better about wandering into this bit. Mixture of ash and sycamore trees here. Really beautiful spot. If I went all the way through here, which I'm not going to bother doing now, we'd come out at the main field where the tractor is working at the moment. It's kind of over in the distance behind all the greenery there. Still in the same spot really. I'm just turning around a bit to let you see as much of this as I can. Fantastic old gateway that used to be there. The wood is still there. Hasn't been a gate for a long time, but well, that's how old, how undisturbed things are here, which is absolutely wonderful. Let's just take a plod up the lane and see what we can see. Keep looking out for the elementals. They're all around us. I see them from time to time, I hear them from time to time. But sometimes there have been other friends here, mediums, and well, just, you know, don't have to be a medium, anyone really can be here, and they pick up on things and they see and hear things that I don't see and hear, and I see and hear things that they don't see and hear. So the elementals are very, very personal to us. If we look in there, it's very active with elementals indeed in there, actually. Kind of dark to film in there, but I do go in there in autumn when the leaves are falling and pick up bits of windfall wood that have fallen down. Maybe make them into something, do some carving, and if they're really shot, they just go in the fire. It's all good, it's all natural, it's all living off the land. Over that way we've got some electricity pylons and stuff, but hell, that's just no way of stopping modern life coming into the picture, really. One of those things. But it keeps us all going. Okay. Now you might recognise this bit from some of the driving videos. This is kind of just past the top of the lane that goes down to my house, and it's a slightly bigger tarmac lane that leads to the main road. Oh, got some cows grazing over there. It's one of the last farms that's still running cows and bulls. Actually, they are bulls, thinking about it. Sadly, so many of the local farms have had to get out of milk in recent years, because we started importing it. And then we had Brexit, which I'm sure you've heard about. And with Brexit, it was all going to be, you know, British cows producing British milk, and we were going to get rid of all the imports. And what's actually happened is our government have made a whole load of new arrangements. Wow, look at that tree, really old. Our government made a whole load of new arrangements so we can import milk from other places. So the farms are still going to be screwed. And I don't know why they do that. I guess the reason they're tearing the countryside apart the way they are is to make nice places for wealthy people to live. Now let's just take a look at this tree. This is just about the oldest tree that we've got in this area. How old it is, I don't know, but it's massive. I mean, it's reached its full height probably hundreds of years ago and just kept on getting bigger. And if we come in close, we can see people have carved their names on it over time. You can still make out some of the letters, but as the tree's grown for such a long time, all this writing, all the letters have sort of expanded and you can't really make them out anymore. About 30 years ago when I first moved here, I could make some out. And I'm sure it was a meeting place for lovers, actually, at some point. Could that be 1981? Could be 1881, it's very hard to tell. There's no way of knowing, but this tree has stood here for such a long time. I'm sure it's home to many birds and insects and maybe animals in this big hollow up here. I can't see in it, but I'll put the camera up and maybe you guys can see in it, Right into the hole, proper hollow tree. I see a spider's web stretched across it there, which is great. Someone's using it. Across into the fields there are more of these ancient trees. And some nice flowers growing as well, actually. Little cornflowers. Everywhere, actually. I think a dog can hear me because it's barking. Lovely and quiet here. And we've got the last remains of the bluebells, which are dying off now, rather sadly, but they do give way to all kinds of new flowers and influences. We've got the foxgloves here just coming into flower, which is absolutely fabulous when they're completely full, you know, fully alive. They're just amazing. So let's take a look over this gate. Very modern gate. It's at least 30 years old because it was here when I moved here. At least 31 years old, my goodness. But very ancient gateway. There's been a gateway here for so long. There's a thorn tree growing there. More trees all along the back. And I'm not sure how far we can see there, but that's at least 10 miles to the ridge over there. And we're right up on top. There's a lot going on between here and there, but we're right up on top, so we're looking straight across. Let's come down a bit, look through the bars. All the flowers there. This farm was running bulls for a long time. They seem to have stopped at the moment. It kind of got unprofitable. And it's a real shame because the farmers were looking after the place so well. Sure, they're still looking after it actually, but just nice if they could make some money while they were doing it. That would keep the whole thing going. And I'm so happy to be here. Massive privilege to live here. You know, bad internet, can't get anything delivered because the delivery drivers can never find the place. But, you know, for those reasons, people wonder why I would be happy living here. But it's a fantastic place to live. That's the long and short of it. And I'm sure you can see why, looking at this. I mean, this is summer, you know. We're 10 days away from the summer solstice. 9 days actually away from summer solstice, from midsummer. At this point, so everything's kind of full of life and beautiful, and it will be for the next 2 or 3 months. But even in winter, when it snows, when there are no leaves on the trees, there's something beautiful, something magical about being here, and I absolutely love it. I feel so lucky. Let's just walk across the road a bit. I'll flip it round. You can look at the cows in the background as well, if you can see them. Can you see them behind me? Over in the field there. And the green seems to go on forever. It's actually only a couple of miles till we get into houses again, but you know, it's wonderful to have this little sanctuary in the middle of nowhere. So, onwards and upwards. Way over there in the distance, those two dark mounds are Preseli, where Merlin is known to have been. I'm sure Merlin knew this area, very close to the heart of Merlin world. Here's the spread. 5-card horseshoe, and we are using Tarot of the Sephiroth for this one. And we're also going to use the Ascended Masters deck by Doreen Virtue for a significatory card, which we will turn over first and just see what this has to say to us. Meditate. Siddhartha Gautama Buddha, Gautama, Gautama, whichever way you want to say it. The message is the same, really, meditation. And you can see that Buddha there is surrounded by beautiful green foliage lit up by sunlight, and that lovely gold aura that's coming out all around him, particularly around his head. And it's around your head that we want to focus on, really, when we're thinking about fairy energy, when we're thinking about elementals, because there's something, how can I put this, their energy is something that very few people are ever going to actually believe in. And if you can find it in yourself to believe in these things, then you have got a great advantage. But it's all at mind level, and that's where it's elevating. That is where it's uplifting. So the way to get in touch with these energies really is to meditate. It's important to get out into nature if you can. And as I'm always saying, nature is actually all around us wherever we are. Even if you're in the biggest of cities, nature is definitely a thing. There is actually clay underneath the concrete that is beneath your feet when you're in town, and so your link to nature is actually, you're never very far away from nature. You really aren't, no matter how much it might seem. It's one of the things that big business, big industries and world governments want you to believe, that they have triumphed completely over your desire to be a natural living being in tune with the earth energies. And so, you know, you must forget all that and just concentrate on what they want you to concentrate on. But not at all. It's a complete illusion. Nature is there, just beneath your feet, wherever you are in the world. It really is. So it's good to be in nature, so, you know, in that sense, it's good to be aware that you're in nature, and in your meditations to commune with nature and communicate with it. But even here, in this beautiful garden, on this beautiful sunny day, on this old wooden box that I'm reading on, I shouldn't have tapped it, actually, because it's made all the cards move. You know, it's still important to meditate, and it's easier to get into a meditative state, I suppose, when we're somewhere like this. But meditation is all important, and even though we often see and hear, and perhaps even more often that feel the nature elements around us, we still need to do some meditation to really be in tune and to really connect with it. So, with that in mind, let's move on to our 5-card horseshoe spread here and see what we've got. So, card number 1, the Queen of Cups. Great, well, the cups are what we long for, they're the things we desire, and this is a wonderful way to start a reading, actually. There's a lot of promise here because the Queen of Cups is there, and her cup isn't just running over, it's like spurting out great fountains of water there. So a lot of mysticism involved with that, of course, because water is the root of the early religions. Here comes a cat. What do you think, Puss? Do you like the reading? She's very good. She hasn't disturbed the cards at all. She's having a good sniff, though. This is Tinkerbell. We're in Tinkerbell's nature territory now, so we better let her do her thing, I think. Good, Puss. My favourite cat, aren't you? Apart from my other cat, who's also my favourite cat. You have a good stretch. Don't worry about the video. I think the people watching the video would rather see you than the cards, actually. Here we go. Now, darling, come on, because I just want to do this video. Whoop, just going to move a little bit. Right, I think this is the order the cards were in. Let's have another go. She's certainly added to the shuffling there in no uncertain terms. So, Queen of Cups, this is a good reminder, actually, at the beginning of a spread, that the things we desire, the things we want, are actually within reach, and the powerful nature of the Queen of Cups, which she has a little Gemini symbol there. You know, this actually is all about meditation, because the Gemini way is to really see outside the box, to think outside the box, and Geminis are that much better able to visualize and believe that things are actually real in the spiritual realms. So that's the message, really, you know, visualize it, believe it. I say visualize and believe a lot for the simple reason that that is the way to get places spiritually. So that's card number 1. The Queen of Cups. What have we for card number 2? It's the Eight of Swords, and this actually goes very well with the Queen of Cups, because with that desire to think outside the box and to be able to see and visualize and actually believe that these out there things are going to happen. And when we do that, by the way, we find that these out there things aren't so far out there as we might imagine. But it does, to reach that state of nirvana, as it were, it does take a great deal of thinking, a great deal of thought, and the swords are all about that. They're about decisions, they're about thoughts, and so this is telling us we need to make a decision to actually, you know, walk this path and believe that this path is going to actually bring something to us. Now, it's one thing to make a decision, it's another thing to believe, absolutely, but I promise you, friends, the more you believe in these things, the more truth you will see in them, and the more you'll see coming through. We've got a lot of healing purple energy in the middle here, and that goes so well with that whole idea of belief, you know, and the healing that comes from nature when we actually can believe in it. So Eight of Swords there. We've got the Saturn symbol there, so we have actually got that energy. We've got a Gemini symbol down at the bottom as well. So let's turn over card number 3, Heart of the Matter. It's the Four of Wands, and it is actually reversed. Let me turn it the right way up so you can have a look. There it is. It's the almost familiar image. It's done in a different way, but it's the familiar image from the traditional Rider-Waite deck of 4 posts holding up a canopy. So that would be a great thing to sit underneath. It would shield you from the sun. And as beautiful as the sun is, we do need to shelter from it. Otherwise, you know, it causes all kinds of health problems, doesn't it? We've got Capricorn energy here, and the symbol of the planet Venus up at the top. So those are the out there sort of cosmic influences around us. And when this card is the right way up, it suggests that there's great stability around the home, and that also there's going to be an event of some kind, a meeting, as it were. But it's come out upside down here. So this is actually telling us that those things are far away until we actually do this meditation, and by doing that we can turn the card around, turn the influence of that card in our lives around, so that we do come to believe in these things, and eventually we do feel at home in nature. Because, you know, the home influence is such an important thing. We all feel that we need to belong somewhere, and we genuinely do have that need. But to belong in nature, it takes a bit of extra thought, a bit of extra thinking, and more than anything else, trust in the Almighty, trust in the divine and the nature sprites. So it's another sort of aspect to visualising and believing, isn't it? It's visualise, believe and trust. But the more you visualise, the more you believe, the more that trust builds up. So that's our 3rd card. That's the Heart of the Matter. What have we next for card number 4? It's the Six of Wands. Now then, this is much more positive, much more like things are actually going to be happening. And of course, because we've now got past that phase, things are going to start happening, absolutely for sure. The Wands are all about getting things done, making things happen. And it can indicate, you know, the universe making those things happen as well. We've got the Saturn symbol up here. And down here, we've got Leo. So the Leo energy is there, and it's this is when things start to actually show out. You know, Leo is all about putting oneself on display, or in a reading like this, it's about the benefits of everything we're talking about in the reading coming out into real life and being on display. So at this point, when we've turned this card round in our mind with all the visualization and the believing, we start to actually see how real it is. We start to feel the results in our life, and we start to feel the power. And that gives us a lot of power as well. The wands here are in the shape of these brightly coloured clubs, which suggests that once you've got this faith, you can break through any barrier and make anything real, and make anything come to you, I suppose I'm trying to say, that needs to come to you for your own well-being, your spiritual well-being, and your worldly health as well, which is all a part of it. They're all part of the same thing. They really are. So there we are. It's very positive. What have we got for card number 5 then? This is our outcome card. That's reversed as... No, it's not. Sorry, I was just reading it the wrong way because it's... because it's a court card. They've put the writing at the top. It's the Princess of Wands. Really powerful. Again, we've got the Leo symbol here. This time, we've got the Cancer symbol on the other hand. on the other wand, I should say, because this is yet another wand card. So we've really got wands taking a big part in this reading. We've got the Queen of Cups, we've got the Eight of Swords, and everything that goes with that. They are playing into this decision, this belief that's going to turn around the Four of Wands in our lives. And now we've got two more wand cards. So it's getting things done all the way once we've kind of got to grips with this. Once we've done this as well, or once we've started making this a regular practice, because meditation works so much better if you do it on a regular basis. You tune into the rhythm of the universe, because the universe and the spirit guides and the angels we work with aren't subject to the forces of time at all. Of course we are, but there's no point doing meditation regularly by doing it at a regular time on the clock. It can help, certainly, but what really matters is the rhythm. So meditate in the same part of every day. That's what really matters. And that's what brings us from this kind of indecision and doubt and actually infinite potential, but this doubt that comes in here. That's what takes us from that into the wands, into actually getting things done. And it's the Princess of Wands, very high energy in the suit of wands there, very close to the top of the court cards. So Princess of Wands, the sun shining all over this image here, and we've got the green of planet Earth there to remind us really that all these cosmic forces do actually link to Mother Earth and the Earth energies. So there we go, friends. I hope that's been of interest. Do let me know if you picked a card. Which card did you pick? And if you picked all five, what did you think of the reading? So the cats are happy, as you can see. And if the cats can be happy, my friends, so can you. Think about it. Cats, they've really got nothing. They've got me, and I'm committed to feeding them and everything, and they've got nature all around them. But they don't actually know what's going to happen tomorrow, and they don't particularly worry about it. And that's what keeps them so closely in tune with nature, because they depend on nature, and yet they trust it enough not to be overly concerned by it. So with that, friends, that's it for another video. Thanks ever so much for watching. Do give me a thumbs up if you would be so good. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. We're just coming up to 2,000 subs at the moment, so an extra sub would be great. Many thanks to all of you who've subscribed already, and do leave me a comment, guys. It's great to share the journey with you. So I'll see you again in a future video. Love and light and blessings and peace.